What is up, guys? And here we are for a brand new video for a sponsored game called Domain. Now, some of you might have seen a video on this before. I did a sponsored video on this over a year ago, and I am excited to be doing a new one. The game has seen a lot of changes since then. Not only cosmetic updates, but there's a lot of new king cards. There's just a lot of new stuff in general. So about the game before we get started. First things first, the idea behind this game, it takes card games and chess and puts them together. So you're playing a really big chessboard and you're playing a card game at the same time. Because you're playing chess at the same time, no two games can ever be alike. There is just way too many possible combinations of moves and cards to ever say, well, I had a very similar game beforehand. Every game feels vastly different. So overall, it is a very, very cool game to look at, a very cool experience. Now, it is absolutely free to play. You get on the game, you click play, you make an account, and you're good to go. Let's get started. Starting the tutorial, let's get ready. So, the goal of the game is to kill your opponent's king, or take it out. Each player starts with a deck of 20 to 30 cards, and we have our kings on the opposite sides of the board. So, how do you move things around? When you hover over the card, or if you click the card, it'll tell you what kind of movement it does. The king, for example, our Taurus dragon, it does it by jumping. It jumps over one tile. Same thing, if I hover over, you can see the little squares that are highlighted. It shows me where I can move the king. So let's make it a move. Let's make it move here to here, for example. No problem. Our hand is to our bottom right. You get a card every turn. And you also get to play the card. We can play one card per turn. The area you can play the card is always around your king. So if my king is here, I can play it around here. If I hover over the card, as you can see, I can play it anywhere next to my king. So let's just play it here for now. After you play a card, by the way, you can move it right away. If you look at its movement, it's a single movement. So I could go here to here, for example, if I wanted to. That's a possibility. Attacks. Our skeleton has attack power 6, as you can see. And he can attack basically where he moves. So if he moves from here to here, he can also attack from here to here. We hover over. He should do 6 damage to go to 19 HP. Pretty simple. And if it ever goes to 0 HP, well, it simply dies. Our dragon, which is our king in this case, which if it dies, you lose the game. As you can see, it's 74 HP. It can attack where it moves to. It has a 25 attack power. And we'll just simply attack. Now, if you attack and actually kill the unit, you take over its spot. As you saw, this didn't kill it, so it stayed where it was. In this case, we'll take over the spot. A lot of cards have different abilities. So, we have Stardust Region here. It says attack, it has a shoot ability. And if I hover over shoot, it'll show me where I can shoot to. It does 19 damage. And as you can see, movement, whether I hover over or I look at it, it's rooted. It means it cannot move for the rest of the game. So, if I want to shoot something, it's an ability. I click on it, and I will shoot this down for 19 damage. Should go to 4 HP. 6 HP, actually. Once you have activated an effect, it cannot move or activate again. If you click on shoot, for example, and you don't want to shoot, you can just click escape, and it will cancel out of the shoot option. Different cards like this have different abilities. So this actually has 2 different abilities. It has attack, which shows you what it does, and it has gravity splash, which also shows you what it does. Gravity Splash knocks all adjacent cards back 1 tile on movement. It does not exhaust. And Attack knocks it back 1 square. So this is mostly about setting up different positioning for enemy units. It does also 20 damage. Last things last, we can also see that every card type, well, not every card type, but some card types have different, or maybe even every card type have different types. So this is a Astral type and an Amphibious type. And some units might have like bonuses versus these. Let's continue. Trigger effects. All right, so if we look at this unit right here, it says collect on death. Every time a card dies, you get 7 mana. And in our hand, we have a card, conveniently, that costs 7 mana to play. If I wanted to cast it and I have 0 mana, as you can see in the bottom left, well, there's a very simple solution. I would take my dragon, kill my own unit if I wanted to, get my 7 mana, and now I am free to drop this wherever I choose. I can move it around as well if I wanted to. Now, there are different types of terrains, as you can see. Now, this is RNG, how the terrain spawns. So every game, it's not just about board positioning, it's about what kind of terrains are where. Because a lot of decks have ways to manipulate terrains, and also some certain cards have bonuses for different terrains. Crystal, Wasteland, Oasis, Scorched Ocean, and Swamp. The skeleton itself, if you have a look at its attack power, it's 6. But, look on the bottom right. it has +5 damage on wasteland terrain. Now, this is pretty easy because it shows you what the type of terrain it is. Whenever there is a terrain attack buff, I believe it's always 5 extra damage, but you can always hover over to make sure. So, this applies to where the unit you're attacking is sitting on. This Inferno is sitting on a wasteland tile. So, if I was to attack with this, even though the attack power is 6, it should do 11 damage, as you can see. And it took 5 extra damage. Now, there are certain tile types that give innate bonuses. For example, Oasis gives 1 HP back per turn. Change. Crystal gives a +5 defense against incoming attacks. So, if I was sitting on a crystal terrain, for example, all attacks would deal 5 less damage to me. If I was sitting on Oasis, I'd slowly recover HP. And continuous effects. Some cards have continuous effects that activate each turn. The Guardian card, for example, I get mana every turn. 5 mana per turn. So, if I click end turn, I'll get 5 mana the next one. All right. And that is a very simple but easy to understand tutorial. By the way, if you're liking this game, you can find it right here, enterthedomains.com. Let's look at this deck really quick. So we have Lava Golem, 0 mana cost. It does some damage. It damages itself as well, 30 HP. We have a card that says when a card dies on Scorched Turf, you get 14 mana. So this is a mana generator. We have Eruption, which changes tiles to Scorched, which means this can be easier to activate. We have Soul Collector, another card that says every time a unit dies, which is enemy units too, you get more mana, 7 mana. Pyromancer changes terrain to Scorched, deals 7 damage. Decent. Cerberus, attack power 6. Alright, so all of these are 0 mana. Pretty cheap units to use. You can drop them at any point in the game. They do damage, they ramp mana. Now, you have one card called Warp, which teleports your king to a tile. That can set up for one of your biggest hits because kings do 25 damage. If the enemy king has 50 HP, that's half the HP gone. So Warp is a very good offensive or defensive card to get your king out of trouble. And last but not least, one of our win cons is Forever Phoenix. It's 45 mana, but it revives at the end of each turn, which is insane. That means once you put this on the board, it's just infinitely attacking. So as I see this starter deck, what I'm looking at is a deck where you want to get mana really early, get as many Phoenixes on board as possible, and win that way. All right, to start things off, we're going to do the following. We're going to do a mirror match just to get a feel for the game because we already know what all the cards are in the Flame deck. Let's pick a fight with Mr. Flame here. Also, they do have multiplayer. You can play versus other people. But I'm going to be playing tutorial for now. So, the enemy started off, they moved their king a step forward, and they developed the unit and moved it a step forward. So, this changes terrain to Scorched if it attacks. I can't attack with the dragon, unfortunately, because dragon can only attack in +1 tiles. It has jumping attacks. I do have a few options, though, if I wanted to kill this off, because this is only 5 HP. Now, we have Phoenix in hand, which means we can start ramping. We have our friend here that says you gain 7 mana each time a unit dies. One play I could do. See, here's the problem. If I move my dragon forward and put it within range of his dragon, it will hit me for 25. So I have a bit of a hard time developing any of my units within range of attacking this. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to run away with my dragon. Further away. I am going to drop down one of my ramping cards right here. And I'm happy with that. He doesn't have any way to attack me that I can think of. It should be his turn. Let's see what he goes for. So his dragon is within range of my dragon attacking his. That's a problem. So we lost our unit, never mind. A bit of a papaya on our end, but it happens. Happens to the best of us. He has 2 units on board that can attack us. I think what I should do here is kill off one of these 2 units and attack his... We could just start aggroing down his king, though, if we wanted to. Place a unit here, just double attack the king. That's not the worst play either. But his king dies to 3 attacks from our king. And I don't think attacking with another unit really makes much sense. What I'm going to do is the following. I'm going to play this dude down here. He attacks for 6. Let's put him here. We'll kill this off. Free kill. And we'll attack his dragon for 25. Or 20, actually. Why 20? Oh, because we are on the tile that gives +5 defense. But so is mine, to be fair. Ours is on the same tile as well, so let's end the turn. We're both on similar tiles. We're on defensive tiles. So we'll take 20 here. This should actually do no damage to me almost. That only hits for 2. Fair enough. Wait, why does that hit for 7? Oh, he changed my... Okay, so the AI actually made a misplay. If they would have changed the tile type first, I would have taken more damage. But because we're attacking first, that's a very cool idea. I could do the exact same thing. Drop this here. Change his tile type to Scorched. And every one of our attacks will be setting up lethal on his dragon in the future. It's 30 damage. Wow. So he's down to 6 HP. We actually might have lethal next turn. Because where can he run away to? As long as I can follow him with my guy. Okay, this is a problem. I actually can't move here because this is in the way. Can I? Can I jump over stuff? I can! He's down to 7. This bad boy hits 7. Drop him down. Lethal! Alright. Fantastic. Now, I got some 8 coins. I assume these are currencies to unlock cards. But somehow, we managed to win our first game, so... Very good. Alright. Let's have a look at what else we can play against. Alright, so, next fight we're going to do is going to be Beyond. Let's have a really quick look at these cards. So, we have Deep Space Warrior. It has a really big movement. Moves 5 lines. And it has regen and 16 power attack. We have Luminary, which knocks units back 1 square and does 5 damage. We have a Fissure that lets us move cards to adjacent squares as well. Interesting. Shockwave attack. All cards within distance 2 does 6 damage. That's a spell, which we did not really have much of in our last deck. Nebulous. It moves in a straight line and has 2 abilities. Attack all adjacent cards for 8 damage. Or... Oh, it has regen as well. Regen's 1 HP per turn. That seems really good. That's very strong, actually, with 22 HP. These cards seem stronger than my cards that I had in my deck. We have Death from Beyond, which has an attack. Gains resulting damage in HP. That's very cool. Dealing 25 damage as well. But it's very expensive. I'm guessing maybe this is the champion. And we have self-damage. Loses 10 HP per turn change. If this is the champion, then maybe the idea is to just run from it. We have Garden, which gives mana per turn and loses HP per turn as well. Fair enough. Castle Knight. Play 1 Castle Knight from your deck if there is an open adjacent tile on play. Very cool. All right, I'm happy with this. Let's give this deck a try. So, let's fight. Now this is difficulty 2. So it has a lot of movement. As we can see, it moves up to 5 units diagonally forward wherever it wants. All right, we have the big mana generator. We're going to drop her as safely as possible over here, and we'll run forward. She generates the most mana per turn. I'm pretty happy with that. He attacks. I'm not mad at that. He places a second unit and attacks as well. That's fine. I want to start placing these guys and generating mana as much as possible. So, I could run away and place them somewhere really far away from everybody and end the turn. I could have placed them on one of these tiles and gotten 14 mana, though. Maybe that was their better play. I don't know. I'm really not sure. Okay, so we know this guy can kill this guy for free. If I place him... Yeah, so this guy can kill him for free. And this is going to be a lot of mana for us. It's going to give us 21 mana. That means we can start chasing this guy at last. So we want to run away. And we don't want this guy to have a chance to kill this off yet. If he's going to kill us off, it has to be on a red spot. So finally, we are at a decent beginning. We've got 21 mana. We can set up this whenever we want. It's an annoying card. It's going to hit us for a lot of damage, but it also knocks us back. But here's the good news. We kill this off as well. So, we get another 20 mana. Now we're looking fantastic. Now, all we have to do is chase this guy down. We can hit him twice. We have enough mana for 2 of these plays. We drop this here. We're going to drop down one of these, I believe. Wait, how much is this card? This is free, right? We're going to drop down an Eruption. Turn everything like this. This can not attack me if I'm here. And we might be setting up lethal, because I believe he's going to kill this next turn. Let's end the turn. We're looking great. 42 mana. I have double warp to set my king kill up here. Come on, come on. That's fine. Oh, come on, dude. You can't do that. He ran. Oh my god, dude. What the hell? I mean, we have so much mana right now. And we don't have any of our big units yet. Unfortunately. We have none of our big units. We'll move here. Either one that kills this, we can attack with the dragon. Let's place some stuff around here as well. Let's place this here. Alright, we're safe. End the turn. I don't need to move this anywhere. I like where this is at. We're trying to box him in, if possible. That's great. That's great. You love to see it. That's exactly what I needed to happen. Okay. Now, I need him to be on a fire tile. I'm only hitting for 25. It doesn't even matter if I'm hitting him for 25 only. I still have guaranteed strike on him. If I play this here. Now, I've got a guaranteed hit. For big damage! We'll strike this just because we have nothing better to do. And we're one strike away from winning. Just don't run away far away. We've kind of got it boxed in. We've kind of got him boxed in here. Oh! Wait. We win. Warp. Easy! Woo! Alright, so a very, very difficult matchup. Not easy whatsoever. But a fun one nonetheless. My goodness. Alright. Alright. So, that is one approach to beating that deck. He just ramps out so fast. But yeah, I think in that matchup, I literally needed to get my warps up and running as early as possible to have a chance of beating him.